So guess who got her own Future State book? That's right, the fourth pillar of DC, Harley Quinn. Now here is why this is the most anticipated book for me from all of Future State. Stephanie Phillips is my current favorite writer in all of comic books. I absolutely loved everything she's touched and she's worked on. Amazing. So I'm like, this is gonna be good. She will understand this character well. Simone DeMeo, his artwork is fantastic. You know, on We Only Find Them When They're Dead, it looks great. Let's get that anime-inspired style over to Harley Quinn and do something cool. I liked this book. I don't think it's my favorite just because it went in some weird directions, because I'm like, this is a different Gotham City than what I'm used to seeing. But I still liked it. I think it was very enjoyable. It did a lot of cool stuff. It didn't piss me off. It didn't make me angry. Set up a lot of cool stuff in the future, and I'm really excited to see that Stephanie Phillips is going to be getting the actual Harley Quinn book when this is done. I think that's a really cool thing she's going to get. So we open up this book, and we are in Gotham City, obviously, and Harley Quinn is evading like this magistrate police force kind of, and she's like jumping around all over the place, but eventually they do get the better of her, and she wakes up in this kind of prison cell area where there's none other than Jonathan Crane talking to her. Now, Jonathan Crane, if you guys aren't familiar, that is the man behind the mask of Scarecrow. But apparently he's gone straight. He's figured out his life because of the magistrate, and now he's working for them to take down some of Gotham City's most notorious criminals. So his idea of Harley Quinn is, you're an insane lady. There's a lot of stuff you know about Gotham City, probably as well as anybody else in this world. So I want to use you to get inside the minds of the criminals, and we can take them down. And if you do that, you can go free. You can get out of our magistrate prison here. Sound good? Sound good. Harley Quinn is kind of hesitant at first, but then she's like, well, the target is Professor Pig. You know, that classic character that is so ridiculous, but somehow I like him. You know, Professor Pig is like the D-list Batman villain that I think a lot of people enjoy writing about and like using. So we're here, Jonathan Crane's like, how would you take down Professor Pig? And the idea is he's this artist and he's so fantastic and he loves himself so much that if anybody tried to copy his work and put his name on it or even put their name on something that he did, he could get pissed off. So they use that as a plan to like draw him out, that they do something similar to him, but it's not his creation. So it draws him out and the magistrate is able to kidnap him. Now Jonathan Crane and Harley Quinn are kind of getting like a little nice friendship going on here. He's like, that's great. We'd love for you to leave. Like, we can take the restraints off. You don't have to wear them. But your job's not done here, Harley. We're going to have to go after Firefly Nest. So how would you take down that guy? And of course, let's just open up a new orphanage for him to burn down, because arsonists love to burn down stuff that have value. Can't disagree with that. Sounds like a good plan to me. I kind of like it too, like in between like these action sequences and all the big stuff with like Jonathan and Harley, we're seeing like the people that work for the magistrate having like a little time to themselves. It's like, it's weird that there's like all these people like in Gotham City that are weird, you know, like this guy used to be the Scarecrow, like this guy is here. Why are we listening to the ravings of a clown lady? Like, this is really weird. I kind of like that energy. It feels very Stephanie Phillips to me, like this is just like, hey, here's the ground, everyday people doing their thing, letting the world around them go, but hey, there's Harley Quinn doing her thing too. So as they are at this new orphanage that opened up, they do manage to take down Firefly, and everyone's starting to see that Harley Quinn might actually be good at this job and doing pretty good. And it's just like, well, there's one big target that we haven't been able to get, and maybe Harley Quinn will be able to get that target, and that, of course, is Roman Sionis or Black Mask, you know. Jonathan Crane has failed numerous times to take him down because he's an idiot. Jonathan Crane is an idiot. It's just, I like the way that Simone draws him. You know, it's just like there's something really disturbing about him looking so basic and plain. He's got like long bushy hair, he's got really small glasses, like he just looks really off-putting. And this Harley Quinn, I can't remember when the timeline is when this one takes place, but this Harley Quinn, she looks interesting. Like, it's not your typical Harley Quinn. There's a little more edge to her, a little more like just like quietness about her, where she's not like over the top or bombastic as we've seen her before. She's like relaxed in her zone. She knows who she is. I kind of like that idea too for Harley Quinn. It's pretty fun to see. It's a really interesting angle. I like it too, because if like Stephanie she's getting into March, let's go higher and crazier with a good Harley Quinn story. That'd be really fun to see. So the idea is we're going to get Harley Quinn to take down Black Mask. We got to figure out the right way to do that. And Crane's kind of getting upset that she's doing all this stuff that he could never do. So there's going to be some inner turmoil between those two. I'm going to expect to see where that comes from. Then we cut to like this random just shop where like a man in a black mask is attacking or stealing money, I should say, from this cash register, and he's like breaking out there, headed into like the sewer area, and you just see like this demon looking figure in like a black mask with like red glowing eyes, like looking at him like, what do you think you're doing with that mask on? And we know that this demon looking guy is actually Roman, so he's like created an entire gang of black mask people, and we don't really know what they're doing or what their end game is here. Just remember, when you wear that mask, you represent all of us. So you do something crazy like this, you're gonna pay the penalty. And he just kind of kills him. You're like, oh, there we go. I guess because Birds of Prey the movie happened, we're gonna put Black Mask in as the bad for Harley Quinn. I'm not complaining. I don't think that's a bad idea. I just don't know if that's the direction I was expecting, but it's cool. I like that too. I think this book being the first one in kind of the Bat family that I did read really helped me set up what the world's going to look like in those other books. I'm going to expect that like the next Batman and all those backstories for that one are going to like connect to like the Magistrate stuff. I kind of like the idea that Harley Quinn is connected to the Magistrate and to the Bat family, but she's separate from it and doing her own thing. She's taking down like the less known criminals in Gotham City, like your Professor Pigs, like your Fireflies. That's pretty cool to see, and it had like a really nice sense of like understanding of this character and how she would have matured to this point in the story and the timeline. I thought that was really nice to see. I enjoy Harley Quinn as a character. I really enjoy Stephanie Phillips as a writer. Simone D'Amelio's artwork is incredible. Everything about this book worked. I don't think it's my favorite Future State book I've read so far, just because it didn't like give me that much. It was a really quiet story, and I wasn't expecting quiet from Harley Quinn. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, this is a nice book. I could read a sequel to this or like a second issue of this. I think that's really fun. I enjoy that aspect of it more than I do the actual book. I think it was cool. So I highly recommend everyone give this one a read because it's pretty fun. So Harley Quinn, the Future State book, I am going to give a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff. When I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.